What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about variegated succulents. Now unfortunately I don't have a lot of variegated succulents because I'm not very fond of variegation in succulents, but of course I love variegation in foliage plants. Like we have the variegated monstera, variegated philodendrons, variegated rhaphidophora. We have so many of them. But when it comes to succulents, I am not a very big fan of variegation because I love the colors in succulents. But when you have a variegated plants, those plants, they miss out on a lot of these strong colors. Like you can see, I have two examples. This is a regular Echeveria luella and we have an Echeveria variegated luella. You can see there is a lot of difference. The variegated one looks exactly like the regular one, but only thing is that the colors are missing and it kind of looks like this succulent was kept in less light due to which the colors are missing. But no, this is because of variegation. Now I did have some request on this, that how do we take care of variegated plants? Are they easy? Are they difficult to maintain? Now, from my personal experience, what I would say is they are a little bit tricky to take care compared to our regular succulents. Everything remains the same. The watering technique is the same. It's the same type of soil mix that I tend to use, but the only thing is the difference in light. For a regular succulent with that beautiful color, my Echeveria luella gets around 5 to 6 hours of morning direct sunlight, or during winters it gets around 6 to 7 hours of direct morning sunlight. But I can't offer the same 6 to 7 hours of direct sunlight to my variegated luella. She will definitely get burnt. So I have to position the plant in such a way, like these plants. This one is kept right at the back of the shelf, and this one is kept quite ahead, where it receives 5 to 6 hours of direct morning sunlight or 6 to 7 hours of direct morning sunlight during the winters. Whereas the one at the back, it's not that they are not getting light, they also need a good amount of light, but not a lot of direct sunlight. So she gets direct sunlight, but that's only until either 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. After that, there is a good amount of indirect bright light with a good amount of intensity, because your variegated plants also need a good amount of light. Otherwise the variegation will start to disappear. You cannot keep them in less light, just like our regular succulents. Now the reason why I said these are quite tricky, because if you are a beginner and you're just starting off with succulents, you all know that a regular succulent itself can be quite challenging for a lot of people. A variegated plant is going to be even more tricky for you to grow. So if you are a beginner, wait for some time. You can start with variegated plants once you have a good amount of experience with the regular ones. Now, as I mentioned, the watering and the soil remains the same. The only difference is in the light. Now, if you are a person who uses fertilizers, I don't use fertilizers, but if you are a person who uses fertilizers, then you have to ensure that the fertilizer that you're using, the N, which stands for nitrogen, the concentration of nitrogen must be very, very less, because if there is too much of nitrogen in the soil, your variegated plant will start to revert to your normal luella. It will start getting green in color. Nitrogen is the component that tends to give the green color to the plant. So if you're going to use a high amount of nitrogen, then you lose the variegation. Now this not only goes to our succulents, but it also goes to our other plants, variegated plants like variegated monstera, variegated philodendron, variegated rhaphidophora, or any variegated plant. They do not like too much of nitrogen. The value of nitrogen should be less in the NPK. So I don't use any fertilizer, so I don't have much of an issue with that. So I'm absolutely fine. But yes, they are quite tricky if you are growing them for the first time. I'm not a very big fan of variegated plants. Apart from that, I will show you another variegated plant that I have, because these are usually that I might have received in a combo and I was not very sure at that point of time. Another variegated plant that I have over here, I'll show you the regular form first. So this is the regular baby necklace. This is like a piece of cake. very easy to grow. I have recently done a cutting and put it into this pot along with some string of buttons. So the Crassula baby necklace, you can see, looks absolutely beautiful. Very, very easy, very hardy, fuss-free succulent, does extremely well. On the other hand, I have a variegated baby necklace. This one has given me a lot of trouble, especially in terms of light. This was one of the first variegated plant that I had got, and it had got completely burnt in the sun, and now she is slowly starting to recover because I had kept both of them in the same place. The regular baby necklace, nothing happened to her. She started to enjoy that spot, but because the direction of the sun changed, this one, which was doing quite well initially, then it started to get burnt because the intensity of the direct sunlight was increasing and she had got burnt. I had to immediately move her out of that space. One or two of the strands had got burnt. I have cut them off. They were completely dried out, but this is the remaining one. And now these tend to receive morning direct sunlight until 9 a.m. and after that there is a lot of indirect bright light with a good amount of intensity. So as you can see, they are doing extremely well. They usually get this beautiful pink tone on the new leaves, but eventually they will start turning like the older ones. As you can see, there won't be any pink on the lower portion. It's only on the new growth. They look absolutely stunning. I hope they turn into a huge bunch soon, which is going to take some time. So that brings us to the growth rate of variegated plants. The variegated plants, the regular plants will grow a little bit faster. Now, when I say faster, guys, you need to understand what fast is in the world of succulents. So you can just understand through that. So a regular plant tends to take some time to grow. So these variegated ones are going to take even less time to grow compared to the regular ones. So if you are buying a variegated plant, don't expect them to grow within a year, double or triple the size. They are going to be even more slow than the regular varieties. So that was all about it. If you are a beginner and you're just starting off with succulents, focus more on the regular varieties than the variegated ones. They are quite difficult to handle, especially if you do not have a lot of knowledge about succulents and you're just getting into them. Go with the regular varieties. They are going to be much easier for you. You can wait. Once you gain a good amount of experience, then you can move on to the variegated ones, because these are a little bit finicky when it comes to light. You need to have that correct type of light in order to grow them. I am not very sure about the grow lights. Probably you cannot keep them right under the grow lights because they will get burnt. Probably you will have to experiment and see where you are going to place them. Probably a little bit away from the grow light, but not far away. This is something that you'll have to experiment and see. So even if you are a beginner and you are growing them indoors, so this is going to be another hurdle for you to understand where you are going to keep them under the grow light. They need that light, at the same time not too much. So that is something that you will have to figure out, especially if you are a beginner. So that's about it, guys. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.